Fuck! I've been talking this whole time. Thankfully, lightning. I forgot I had my mic muted. Alright, so I'm gonna have to start over. Alright, now I'm gonna go to... I don't remember these damn guys. Anyway, I have to start over, but... I don't remember this boss fight. I wasn't expecting a boss fight. So as I was saying, I'm going to give an example. God, I wish I had to start all over. That's my bad. I was talking about looking stuff up in games. Everybody does it. I wanted to stress that because last night in the podcast, I was talking about how if somebody looks up like where to go and what to do in a game like this, it's like, why play the game? I mean, obviously you still have to defeat the boss, you still have to do stuff. So, there's nuance to it. But everybody looks stuff up, and I'm gonna give an example of like where I look something up and I'm like, I have no regrets about it. Like, there's absolutely no way I was ever gonna find that. Xenoblade Chronicles X had a lot of stuff like that. But at the same time, if someone judges me for looking something up, I mean, that's how they feel, Yeah, it sucks. But I've been pretty judgmental. Robert, gaming with me, will let you know about him looking up the shrines in Breath of the Wild. Now, it wasn't all the shrines, but it was a good chunk. Just looking up the location, still traveling there and doing the shrines. But I took it a step further in the podcast. I said, if somebody looks up all the shrines locations and then they look up the solution, then I said you might as well not even do it. Like, that's a line too far. That's you've crossed the line too far, in my opinion. You could say, oh yeah, I got 120 shrines, but if you frickin' didn't even figure out the puzzle and you looked them up, then that's not an accomplishment. That's like paint by numbers. That's like tracing, holding a piece of paper up to a computer monitor and tracing an outline and then saying, no, you drew something. No, you didn't. You traced something. So anyway, the example I was going to give here. So in the game, you discover this area, Sorceress Selene. She's an NPC side quest character, and she tells you she's looking for her old apprentice or something. I forget. I should have went there. She would have told me. And she tells you to go to like the town Celia and like the cathedral or something. So I went there, and this area, my first time through, there's a lot of enemies, and I looked and looked and looked, and I scoured this area. I don't know the exact amount of time, but a lot of time was spent scouring this area. I couldn't find the dude. I said, you know what? I don't want this quest to just get ended because I did something and it just a lot of the quests just kind of die if you don't do things in order. So I looked up. So that's the town that the hint was. So I'm going to show you where this dude was. And I have zero regrets about looking it up. I wish I would have looked sooner. I mean, I didn't know. So first off, you got to dodge that shit. The only reason, I mean, you would probably come up here because there's a church, if you're one to explore. There's plenty of people who probably wouldn't. I say, all right, there's a church up here. There's some enemies. I already did that. So then you got to go up to the left here, up this hill. And you'll see how ridiculous this is. You got to just have happened to say, you know what, I'm going to go look over these gravestones. And you got a dude. All right, so you kill this guy. You're like, oh, you get. I think there was a glowing. There was an item here. Sorry, I'll read that in a second. There was an item here, and I'm like, all right. So here's where the guy was, and to make you, this cave wasn't here. I kind of miss magazines like Nintendo Power and others that came out. Consoles were blooming popularity. But let me finish this. This cave wasn't here. It looked just like this. It was a hidden frickin' wall. You had to hit with your sword, right? So if you just like were walking around, it just looked like a wall. And you have to hit right in the spot you had to have hit. Then the wall disappears. So then I would have never found that, period. And if Terrell, if you're watching this, get the lantern because it lights it up and and both your hands are still free. Don't use the torch. You go in this cave and not just a cave. This is a freaking giant cave with all these crystals. You have to drop down to this floor that looks like it's a death pit. And because there's nothing down there, it just looks black. You have to know to drop down, go through a door, and there's the frickin' dude's corpse. There was no way in hell, and I don't know how anybody found it. Like, I don't know who just happened to strike this wall. So it was like, of course I'm gonna frickin', somebody's gonna have to look that up. There's absolutely no way you're gonna figure that out. I don't care. Like, obviously somebody did. And I asked the guy who made the video, and he's like, well, I just got some hints, and I tried. You know, I was like, nah, somebody found that accidentally and then realized that it was the dude and shared it online. But without that, you're never going to find that guy. There was just no way in hell. So, I have no issues. Not that just because I did it, I have no issues in general with somebody having to look that up. Xenoblade Chronicles X had a ton of stuff, like for the flight module. You had to get like 8 of some random item, and the game did not tell you where the item. I might have had one, but it didn't tell me where I got it or where I could find more. There was no way I was just going to wander around these huge continents, picking up the little blue diamonds, hoping to find the item. So I gotta open up the live stream on my phone so I can read the chats that I missed. Alright, so thanks Lightning, by the way, for the telling me there was no audio. When did you start gaming? Atari 2600. And then I played a NES. It was Tecmo Bowl. I wasn't friends with them, but a kid I was friends with knew the kids behind us, and Charles streaming too. This people behind us, these kids, their parents bought them everything, and I played the NES for the first time and it blew my mind. The horse moves too fast and unnatural. Well, it's like a spirit. Anyway, it's not supposed to be a real horse, and this is the From Software engine. It's not the most realistic of physics. Magazines, yeah, I love going to the store, just looking at the magazines, seeing all the games. Like Mario 64 had like a 8-page spread, and blew my mind. Literally Zelda reference, but instead of bomb breaking the wall crack, just swing your sword and breaks it. Yeah, except for there's no indication. Literally no indication that was an invisible wall. So that was an example of like, there's no way you're ever going to find that. I mean, unless you want to spend 1,000 hours just going around the walls in every location and swinging at them, like there are some ground that you can tell that gives you a cue. There's like a wooden floor in the middle of like these stone ruins, and it's like gives you like, obviously you got to figure out the first time. So you kind of figure out that, hey, if I see this kind of these wooden boards that it's probably going to be a fault for. Damn, I am really rusty at playing this game, let me tell you. And I'm really high level. I'd be dead for sure if I wasn't. But getting back to like just looking stuff up. So again, like I mentioned, you know, everybody's going to judge somebody over something. I know people that I've seen comments, and somebody in Terrell's stream was kind of trying to judge, you know, using magic in the game like it's some ridiculous, like, shameful thing to do. It's like, it's in the game, you know. Dual swords is in the game. It's powerful because you get 2 quick attacks, and then, but it's in the game. So I would never say, how dare you do something that's in the freaking game? How dare you use your spirit summons to help you beat a boss? That's your choice, you know. That's something completely different. But looking up, like, in this game, it's not a great example for the general, like, getting through the game, because it's just a huge open world, and, you know, the game developers know you're not going to see everything. Dang, that guy took some hits. They kind of think about, you know, you playing the game again, and not trying to get it all in your first playthrough. But I want to get out of this area. But you know, speaking of first playthroughs, to me it's like, here, I'll just give you my philosophy, and I kind of already mentioned it when Lightning said you agreed. If the game's core design is like a Metroidvania, is figuring out where to go, like, oh shit, like Metroid Prime, I almost died. I'm like level 170, and I still can get murked. Let me go with my old faithful shield and sword. Damn. It is New Game Plus, so it's like the enemies do, you know, more damage than if I wasn't playing a New Game Plus. Is he dead? Yeah. Anyway, now they're dead. So if the core game is basically like Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Hollow Knight, the hell's that? Oh, Metroid Dread, Metroid Prime. You know, like the main gameplay loop is get a new item, and now you have access to new areas. Now go back to the areas you couldn't access before, and try to find like places you know, open up new paths. You know, that's the point of the game. So if you basically, either back in the day, if you had a guidebook or a strategy guide, or if you're just online watching a Let's Play, and you're just gonna, and you're just gonna look up where to go anytime you like can't find where to go, it's like, you're kind of missing the point of the game. Like, you know, it's different in like God damn you. Like an Uncharted game, you don't have to look up where to go, because the game is designed so that there's no mistaking. You never have to worry. Like in Cyberpunk, you never have to worry about figuring out where to go. Assassin's Creed, you know, you have all your markers on the map. You want to start a mission, you go to the mission marker. Get the hell out of here, dude. God, I hate these things. You know, you got your mission marker. A game like this, you got no indication. So there's some games where it doesn't apply. How was that? I should know better than to try to play a game and make my points because it's hard to not get distracted. But basically, some games there's no reason to look stuff up. Other games you're gonna find you're way more inclined to say, you know what, I need help. The other thing too is if you like Elden Ring is another example. I was 100 hours in. There's like a really hard boss. Are you kidding me? He attacked me, so now I gotta kill him. Oh, frickin' dogs. Wow. Okay, I'll probably die here. Jesus. I forgot what I was just talking about. Oh, I was like 100 hours in. There's like super hard boss. I'm like, I just played Bloodborne. I wanted to get into Horizon Forbidden West, and I was like, man, I've been playing this boss for like an hour. The best I could do, I got her to her second wave, second form, if you will, a couple times, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't want to be playing this game into June. Like, right? Like, I want to beat the boss, not because uh, anything other than I wanted the outfit, I wanted the sword. So this is the outfit and sword right now. I looked up, tips to defeating her, and I've seen this like OP blood loss build, and I took a couple hours. I followed the steps. I found the talismans and the weapons, and I leveled them up, and I got the build uh, that was shown, and then I go fight her. Yeah, it took me 3 hours of playing the game, but I didn't discover anything on my own, and I beat her in the first try, and I was like, that's not satisfying, like. I know I wasn't gonna put in the time to beat her like legit, but it wasn't satisfying. I'm rocking her weapon and her outfit, and I love how it looks, but there was no satisfaction in that. I'll never. I guess I could start the game over, or I could go face her on New Game Plus, but I'm gonna be so high leveled. But if I could say, hey, no spirit summons, try to only heal a few times, and I could maybe get some of my pride back, if you will. Yeah, I don't really want to do this right now. But it's like I knew better, and just like with Breath of the Wild, when I was down to, I think I needed like 8 more shrines, 10 more shrines, or something. I went to IGN and I just looked at the names of the shrines for each area, and then I went on the map, like pretend this is Breath of the Wild, and it tell you the shrine when you hover over it, and I figured out which areas I was missing shrines in, and then I would scour the area. Well, while I was looking that up, I clicked on an image, and it had a map of like the desert area, and it had a shrine on the map, and I was like, yeah, I saw it, and I looked, I didn't have it. I was like, fuck, well, now I know where that one is. And I went there, and it was the Goron, like, heat, uh, test of heat, where you have to, like, stay on the hot area. And it was a really fun, uh, what do you call it? It was a shrine quest. And I walked by that area 100 times, and I was like, man, I would have found it. And I was kind of mad at myself for having seen that. Um, but I took it out on myself. No one judged me for it except myself. I'm trying to see where I might want to go. But there might be somebody who says, man, that's shameful, man. You were that close and you looked up one. Yeah, I know. I'm just as mad at myself. I don't know if anybody could shame me more than I felt shamed, but at the same time, when I found the actual last one, legitimately found the last shrine, I was just, what's the word? It was one of the most memorable gaming moments of my life. Like finally finding the damn shrine. Dang it, that's not where I wanted. I wanted to go here. And that's basically what I want to convey is like, hey, if I mean, I know instant gratification and all that, and some people play games with a different focus than other people, and that's fine. But like, if I was just like, as an elder gamer giving advice, my advice would be looking up should be kind of a last resort, you know, and if you don't feel any kind of like regret or shame when if it was something you're like, damn, I should have known that. Like I should have freaking seen that. Finished my playthrough Breath of the Wild with 98 shrines. Didn't find the last 20 or so, but 20 of the 120 shrines. Hold on, chat's coming up because it cuts off. Are blessing shrines anyway, in which you just enter, get a chest and orb. Well, those the only ones that you walk in and you get a chest and orb. Ones that you have to work for. Those are the shrine quest ones. So you have to work to get them. So if you didn't do any of the like, you still have to do it. Oh, I hate that. What the hell? So I mean, you still have to go through the process of. But if you looked, see, that's one where it's like, oh, you know the shrines in that area, but if you don't know what to do to get it, you can still find some. You know, there's still some effort that needs to be put in, like the Three Brothers Shrine. For those that know what that is, like you could see it on a map where it's supposed to be, but you still have to kind of put it together what you have to do and then actually do it. You know, kill the Hinox and carry the orbs and all that. So, you know, there's still stuff involved. So that's why I think it's not just a blanket statement. Oh, you looked up something, you know, what is this? Oh. You know, so it's like, I feel like I just wanted to kind of reiterate. And I probably keep saying the same thing over and over. Now I'm going to go fight a frickin' boss fight. So, but the other thing, like I said, you might not have the time to go 100 hours in a game like Cyberpunk. Who's this guy? Oh, Godfrey. Man, I ain't doing hardly any damage. Let's try this. Uh-oh. This guy's got a lot of HP. Some of these bigger bosses, best to stay close. Except when they do that, I literally just saved myself. What's up, Donnie? Gotta fight this boss real quick before I can get back to my discussion. Yeah, this is definitely the weapon choice for this guy. Oh, what the hell? I couldn't move for a second. Uh-oh. No! Damn, he got me. I got greedy. I thought I could finish him. Yes. So yeah, just kind of reiterating for anybody, Donnie's here now, you know, everybody looks stuff up in games and everybody judges people for what they deem to be shameful or lame or, you know, kind of ruining or playing the game wrong. You know, there's all kinds of stuff, and it's like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I agree with that, and other times I'm like, come on, like with Elden Ring. Oh, how could you do magic in that game? That's easy mode. Like, get the hell out of here. It's in the freaking game. Um, but now if I played this guy one time, like, oh, he beat me. I got to look up how to beat him. Like, what's the best weapon against him? It's like, dude, try him a few times, figure out his patterns. You know, don't. There's people who are like too. Oh, you fucker. They're too against looking up, and there's people who are too okay with it, too eager. He's got some delayed attacks. Come on, bro. Run. The Zelda team are doing things in Tears of the Kingdom that have never been done in an open world game. I mean, with no loading. I mean, they already did things that weren't done in Breath of the Wild, so. Oh no. Oh, I'm frickin' at the border. I was wondering why I couldn't move. Alright, we're gonna go shield. Try shielding. Didn't work. Damn! This guy's no joke. Sometimes it's best to get away, sometimes it's best to get up in their grill. I feel like my inputs are delayed. When did they say no loading? Don't remember that as just an assumption. Yeah, we don't know if there could be loading when you go from the sky to the ground. So that is a new item. I'm pretty sure I beat that guy first playthrough. Yeah, you're assuming there's no loading going from the sky to the ground. So I gotta find the category. So it was talismans. I think I already. Pretty sure I beat him in my first playthrough. No, I didn't. Wow, that's cool. In the last trailer, you could see Link skydiving down with no loading, but the world comes. I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't doubt it. But Breath of the Wild, you know, that was the game that kind of started the discussion last night. Actually, it was Metroid Prime because I was stuck in Metroid Prime, and I've been in that point in the game 3 times before, and I was kind of mad at myself for being not knowing where to go. And Robert's like, just look it up. Like, it's, you know, you don't need to feel bad about looking stuff up. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to look up this for a game that I've played before. And I'm just like, you know, I was late at night. I was tired. He didn't know that. And I was like, you know, what's Metroid Prime? That's, you know, kind of the point is figuring out what to do, where to go, how to get to where to go next. But at the same time, if you spend an hour and you just can't figure it out, you know, I honestly, the best solution is to just turn the game off and come back the next day. You're probably going to figure it out like right away. Where's the damn tunnel? Which something that I could stand to remember from time to time, but you know, I don't know. What do you guys? Anybody that's watching, how quickly do you look something up in a game if you're like struggling to figure out what to do next? Is it like immediately? Are you constantly on your phone? I already killed this guy. Oh yeah, that's right, I died. You're constantly getting on your phone. I feel like it gets kind of easier the more you do it, and it's almost like contagious. You did it once, all right, you pop the cherry. Now any little time you're stuck, What games that have multiple endings are you fine with people using guides for that, like the second playthrough at least? Yeah, I mean, I just played Cyberpunk and apparently there's different endings. I just happen to have done everything to get the quote unquote good ending with Judy. But now I'm like, do I want to replay and see what the other choice, what the result is? Or do I just want to look up a cutscene to see, whoa, Jesus. Look up a cutscene to see what the ending was. In that regard, I'm just gonna look up to see what the end scene is. If I chose a different option, because I'm not gonna go back and I mean you start the game after you beat it, it just goes back to the safe point right before you started the final mission, so you can just take about a couple hours and redo it. But like that, I would do that for a game I was like super into. Like, man, that's awesome. I'd love to see what the other option would be. But yeah, in the first playthrough, I don't know, man. Like I said, everybody will judge people for different things. I think it's pretty lame to like look up a bunch of stuff on your first playthrough. But Bloodborne, I did a couple things where I was like, I couldn't figure out how to get to this area, and you have to go to I think it was with a particular weapon. You have to go up to like this like pillar. It was like glowing. It was obvious that it was something special about it. And I forget what you had to do. Either you had to have a special weapon or have no weapons equipped or something, and then like a mythical like spirit horse and buggy comes and picks you up and takes you to this area. I would have never figured that out because the time I walked to that pillar, I didn't have I hadn't had the item yet that was needed. And I'm like, I would have never found that. And you could say again, that game was designed to be played multiple times. You're not expected to find everything on your first run, your first time through a game. Come on, bro. What do you got? Ooh, nice hit. There's too many guys here. Whoa! I don't know who hit me with the lightning. I hate these shield motherfuckers. They're tough. Hold up my shield. We all got the same shield. Well, he doesn't, but the other guys do. We have the same shield. Eat that. Is there a weather system? No, I mean there is, but it's not as dynamic as you would expect. It's not like Breath of the Wild's. But look at this. Look at that. That looks nice. There is so much stuff that's possible to miss in this game, and I keep saying I can't be mad at somebody. Oh, okay, I know what that is. I can't be like super mad at somebody for like, hey, I gotta figure out where to go, what to do. I'm trying to think of like worst case scenario. I think earlier and my mic was muted for those that joined. I started the stream and my mic was muted for like the first like 3-4 minutes. And I might have touched back on it, but like looking in Breath of the Wild, not only just looking up the locations of the shrines, which, that's whatever, because you still gotta do the shrines, but looking up the location and then also looking up the solution, not even trying to figure it out. To me, that's where I say, why even play it? Like, why even do the shrines? Because there's no point. The point is figuring out the solution. That's like the whole point of shrines. They're like a puzzle. They're like, just a dungeon. Oh, you don't have a shield, bro. Whoa. But you got a big ass sword. And now you're dead. Alright, let's shoot. What is being shot here? He's over here. Another like Hollow Knight. That's another one. As soon as you're stuck, like immediately getting on your phone and looking up a solution, I'm gonna be like, man or woman, that's lame as that's lame AF. That's why even play the game at that point. Like you can say, well, I only had to look up two things. Okay, that's this is where it's like there's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of nuance to it. You get stuck like an Ori. There's times where I was stuck and I'm just like keep going back and forth. I'm like, I can't find where to go. But eventually you figure it out. Great Shield Talisman. I think I already have that. I'm on New Game Plus, so I'm gonna have like 2 of a lot of things. I brought up in the podcast the Goose Game. Once you know the solution, I never got it. That must not have. There's some like this New Game Plus. I thought I scoured this area and I didn't have this. So, Bose Guardian ability. That's nice. I kind of want to put that on. Let's see. Greatly attack power with successive hits. Slowly restores HP. Raises maximum HP. I'm gonna put it on that spot. But the Goose Game, like knowing the solution defeats the purpose of playing Untitled Goose Game. It just does. You be mad about it, disagree. It's just factual. That is the purpose of the game, is figuring out what to do. Look at the shield. And then you know what you need to do, but figuring out how to accomplish it is the point of the game. So knowing what to do and then just doing it is, and I can't remember if my mic was muted when I made this point. That's like paint by numbers. That's like tracing, like holding a piece of paper up to a computer monitor and tracing like a piece of art or like a anime character or something and say, hey, I drew this. No, you didn't. You traced it. That's not drawing, Like that's how I'd feel about playing a game like the Goose Game and looking up the solution for everything. Like you might as well not play the game. So, that at that point, that's one where I would say absolute worst case scenario. If you're looking stuff up, I don't consider you actually played the game, like seriously, because it's like following in footsteps, like not gaining the knowledge. Like I was thinking of this earlier, and it was like a great example of like not earning knowledge, just taking knowledge that somebody else had. What the hell is this? Oh. Not earning the knowledge. Alright, I got a shield, bro. You can't hurt me. Oh, there's 2 of them, though. That's gonna be a challenge. Jesus. I'm not scared, though. It'd be better if there weren't 2. Think of it like copying homework. Exactly. It's like looking up the answers to a test or a trivia game. Well, I'm gonna look up who this actor was that starred in this movie. Oh, thanks for helping me out. Do you feel really good about yourself? Like, oh, I got all the trivia questions right. You looked them up. Like, do you honestly feel good about yourself? That's kind of how I feel about looking up something like the Goose Game, looking up the solutions. You might as well just watch somebody else play it. Of course, that's an extreme example. if it was just like, oh, I got stuck in this one thing out of like 20. There's 20 like tasks in the game, and I just couldn't figure one out. I looked it up. All right, like again, this is just my little judgment. There should be a dude appearing, and he is not. That's my judgment. Some people might be just like, I could care less what you do. If you want to look everything up, do it. That's your time. You bought the game. That's your time, but I can't just like say that, yeah, I'm gonna let that pass. Like that's acceptable. You played the game. I'll be like, no, you didn't. Just like if you got, oh, I got 20 out of 20 right on these trivia questions. I only looked five up. I only Googled five of them. Well, then you didn't get 20 out of 20. Like that's kind of what it boils down to. Yeah, he's not triggering for some reason. Side note, New Game Plus or playing a game a second time has its pros and cons, and one of the biggest cons is that you do things out of order. Like the first time you played it, I don't think I did that the second time. You really like this game. I'm really scouring every area. Like all these things here, I means I discovered them on my first playthrough. Like let's show you a cave. This cave, I discovered it on my first playthrough, but I haven't gone there yet on my second playthrough, so I don't have my grace site. So I'm way up here, and my map's already unlocked. I'm way up here, and it's not activating because I'm way ahead of probably where I actually should be. Like I haven't gone into any of these areas. I just did the academy. I had the items to like, there's like a hidden path to get up here, but I had the items from my first playthrough, so I could just, oh, right here, use the gate instead of taking this path right here, which I'm actually going to go back and do. So that's kind of I would say a negative to New Game Plus is you kind of miss, you kind of just do things out of order and it's discombobulated. Discombobulating? Is that a word? But it was a good thing to do it out of order for Skyward Sword since the game would brick if you did the one quest. Yeah, I got lucky. I just never had that issue. But I've noticed that on almost every game I've played a second time or done New Game Plus, I really miss out on a lot because I've already been through it, and I'm kind of think I already know where to go, and then you end up I don't know what the word is. Rushing through isn't the right word, but less careful, less paying attention to details because it's like I already been through here. I've already done this. Like I gotta get down there. And I almost like New Game Plus is almost like it's kind of in the same vein as looking stuff up because here I am just like OP as hell. I know there's got to be a quicker grace site. Yeah, I missed a lot. Where's the closest one? I'm like OP as hell, so I'm just like, no, you could say rushing for New Game Plus since for games I just try and get the content. Let's see. I don't know why I cut that one off. I have not gotten. Yeah, that's true. You could say, all right, I'm doing New Game Plus. I'm just gonna do the stuff I missed. Well, in this game, it shows like, hey, I went there in the first playthrough. I haven't gone there again. So my goal would be to try to find the caves I missed, which I actually found a bunch. And I actually had Terrell go here the other in his stream. I didn't go up this damn river for some reason. There's a cave here I missed. Uh, there's a cave here I missed. And then there was a dude to talk to. Maybe I might. No, yeah, I didn't do that. There was two just right here, and I scoured this area. So yeah, that is a benefit. For this game, it's very challenging. It's too big of a game really to have the Bloodborne and Souls games style where you're meant to play it over and over. All right, what is the quickest way to get down here? I'm gonna say no, not that one. I'm gonna do this one. But yeah, I think I've exhausted everything I want to say about the looking stuff up again. Like, there's definitely a discussion to be had, and it's never like the best thing to judge other people, and it doesn't always feel great to have someone judge you on something or how you play. Everybody plays differently, so I'm just kind of giving my thoughts, the things that kind of are the extreme examples, like case by case, like I brought up the Goose Game. Like, you might as well not play it if you're just going to look up the solutions. But again, if you're stuck on one, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh well, one's as bad as 20. No, it's like speeding. I got a frickin' speeding ticket almost 2 years ago now. I know it was almost a year ago. So I just found that gray site. And I was doing my speedometer, I said 9 over, he said 10. But would he have pulled me over if it was if I was doing 5 over? Wait, hold on. The difference between 10 over and 5 over is the difference between getting pulled over and not getting pulled over. So, like, the difference between looking up 20% of the solutions to a game versus 1 or 5%, yeah, there's definitely a difference there. Whoa. Yeah, definitely did this one. All right. Now I'm just going to I have a goal. I'm just going to do it while I'm streaming. I didn't know Trout. It's Tuesday. I don't know why he'd be streaming tonight. Let me see. Let me look. But watching he's not streaming. Watching him play this game made me want to play this game, even though there's another aspect to judging. Judging somebody's playstyle, not in like, oh, how dare you do that, but I was like, bro, like, that's a really hard way to play this game. You're really making it hard on yourself. You sure just want you to know that, like, that weapon and playstyle you're doing is very challenging. The game's hard enough as it is, but whatever. If you want to play that way, that's up to you. I'm gonna give you the information, and some lessons I learned was for like a big chunk of the game, probably like the first 30 hours, 40 hours, I was using the same weapon, the same long sword with a shield. And then I discovered when I got to the academy, I had this sword, and I had this. They're both kind of magic swords. Let me look at their stats real quick. So this is dexterity, strength, and intelligence has scaling, but where's the thing that, oops, damn it. There's a thing that tells you it has a status effect. What button do I have to do? Switch display. So it has a unique skill, Mists of Slumber, and then it inflicts sleep as you hit. And I was going through the academy, and my shield and single sword wasn't working. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try two weapons, two short swords, and these are the two I had, and I leveled them up as high as I could. And so instead of shielding, L1 now is a double attack. So you can do like a combo with your right sword, and then you can get a dual swing. So you can like drop down, get 2 hits. So if both these swords do 20 damage, that's 40 right there. So that's better than a sword that does 35 with 1 hit. That's a heavy, slow sword. So I figured out, man, this is a really cool playstyle. And then I figured out dual katanas with blood loss, amazing. And then like you can do weapons with ranged specials that use magic, which I just got this dagger, and I guess it's really good. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. And by the end of the game, like I was, depending on the boss or whatever, I would just switch to a different weapon and playstyle. So let me take this off. Clocked it. He kind of turned me on to this twin blade staff. This thing's awesome. So if you go two-handed with this, whoops. All right, so now you got that's like, you get like 3 hits out of that. That you get the spin, and then the thrust afterwards. And this is like, this just racks up damage. I got 2 lobsters over there. I was gonna take 1 on, but I don't know about 2. So basically, the long story short, I was just like, all right, these are the mistakes I made. Once I started experimenting with different weapon types and finding new play styles, the game really like came alive for me. Like that's when I was like, man, I really fell in love with it at that point. So I was just like, hey, I just recommend, trying some different weapon combinations, see if you find one that you really, really gel with, So it was less about judging the way he was playing and more about, hey, I did that same thing. I kind of got stuck on a weapon in playstyle early on, and I wish I had moved on quicker, but I lived and learned, and I'm just trying to like pass that knowledge. Seek 3 wise beasts, so there should be 3 spirit turtles to attack. Cool thing about this is you can also block. Let's see. Yeah, it makes quick work with people. I'll do that so my shield's not blocking me. So now I gotta look for 3 spirit turtles. Sometimes they're up in trees. Oh, I see one. Get wrecked. Did I see another? No. There was one up in a frickin' tree once, and I was like, that's one situation where I was about to frickin' look up, like, where the hell are these? Where's the last damn turtle? I already did a full circle. And then I just happened to look up and see him in the tree, and I was like, oh, glad I didn't look that up, because that's, I felt pretty cool that I had figured that out. That's I'm still at a medium load. One thing about this game is that it tries to like automatically steer your camera, and I'm constantly fighting it and moving it myself. Is there one down here? So it might look a little choppy watching. Torrent, where you at? Oh, there is one down here. And you're like, oh, why do you need to look? Didn't you already play this game? Yeah, I have the worst recollection for stuff like this. I mean, it was probably, I want to say April or May, the last time when I did this the first time. I remember thinking too, is like, are they gonna guide me? Are they looking in the direction of the dude I need? Like the last one? I'm gonna touch this gray site real quick. And so, like that's part of the joy of gaming for me. Is like it also leads to frustration, but I was like, all right, these guys are all looking in one direction. Maybe that's where I need to go. And then I thought they seem to always be where there's the blue flowers. So then I start like searching all the blue flower areas. It's fun, like problem solving, and but it gets to a point where the problem solving becomes annoying, frustrating, and I get it. Like I said in the beginning, everybody looks stuff up. Inherently, it's not it's not a crime. It's not it's not terrible to look stuff up, but at the same time, there's got to be some kind of limit to it. There's got to be some kind of line where it's like, all right, that's too much, I'm sure there's people who would already have looked up where these three turtles are, but that's not who I am. And I'm not saying it's like I'm better. I'm just telling you, this is the one where he's up in the tree. So nice. All right, found it. It's just, even though I've already done this before, like 10 months ago or whatever, it still felt good to find that last one. And these towers, they just have they're usually some kind of magic item, and I don't really do a magic build. Climb! Yeah, the animations are pretty, they could use some work, we'll just say that. They could use a little more, a few more animation to the movements, some extra animations to kind of smooth them out. Nothing? Cool. I didn't want it anyway. I ain't gonna risk it. But yeah, I think that's about it. Kind of repeated myself a bunch of times. Hopefully, I didn't come across as like Mr. Greater than thou. What's the phrase? Like holier than thou. I don't look stuff up. I do look stuff up. I've looked up stuff in this game. I looked up stuff in Breath of the Wild. Not a lot. Uh, I know I accidentally saw the one shrine. I looked up the names of the shrines just to find out what areas I was missing shrines in. So you could say that's kind of a cheat. But I was down to, it was less than 10. I don't know if it was like 8, 7. But it was still super rewarding when I found the last one just completely on my own. I was just, I was so excited. I was pumped. These guys aren't no joke. But I'm gonna take them on to show you the two-handed beauty. Oh, what? I dodged. I'm still struggling. I've been playing so much freaking Breath of the Wild lately that I'm pressing triangle to jump instead of square. Right, where's my target? Here we go. Yeah, I think I'll just get to the end of this swamp and then just call it a night. But appreciate everybody for leaving a comment, participating in the live chat. I mean, I know these videos because I'm not on camera and it's just like my voice, which sometimes I mumble a bit because I'm just kind of relaxed on the couch. I'm just chilling. And I was thinking about looking into like the PlayStation camera. I don't know how that would work. Uh-oh. Get out of here! I thought maybe I could like use a shit, I gotta do this quick. Long USB and kind of set the camera up next to my couch and kind of so I could be on camera. I don't know if that would make a difference, but I kind of feel like that's kind of missing from my live streaming on PS5. And the mic audio isn't the best either. See, I'm inclined to like explore up here. All right, I see a dude. We're gonna great shield it. Because he's got a shield, so I'm gonna use a shield. But he's gonna put a shield on his back. Uh-oh. I have that same shield, bro. My shield's got a lot of poise, so I can take some big hits. Oh, I was hoping not to take any hits. Nice dodge. Took some hits, so I was hoping to go flawless victory. Look at that shield. I hate that taking up my whole back. So I'm trying to remember, did I come up here? Oh, that's an enemy. Do a little shield counter. Do it again. See if I can get a critical on his back. Yep. I don't feel like I came up here. Sorry, I was gonna end the stream, but I'm just like, I'm kind of curious now. Alright, there's a merchant. That's who I thought those other guys were. Oh, you again. I guess I've been up here. Rune Arc. One thing it doesn't tell you if you have a shield or not. It's kind of disappointing. So, Rift Shield and a Blue Crest Heater Shield. Let's see if we have those.
Well, be on your way then.
Because I'm trying to collect, like, as many items as I can. It was a blue crest, wasn't it? That's a red crest. And I do not have either shield, so I'm gonna purchase them.
You again? I don't want.
And then I like to sell my duplicates because it's not just New Game Plus. You get duplicates just on your first playthrough. So Vulgar, Militia Greaves, or Militia Greaves. So I'm gonna sell one pair. I don't know. I like house cleaning like this. I don't like having duplicates of the same. Scaled, so I got 2 of those. Alright, let's check the gloves. These all look the same, but they all have a different name, so I don't count them as being the same. Scaled, got those. Let's see. I should have at least, yeah, I got a duplicate there, and there, and there. And there. And you get decent runes for it too. And one last thing, we got the head pieces. I got a lot of stuff. Make 2 of those. Oh, that's different. Sorry that I know this is not exciting. But
All done? Well,
I'm all
be on your
done.
way then.
I'm just gonna finish this little excursion up here because I feel like maybe this is probably the dead end. Yeah, it is. Ooh, what do we got here? Bellum Church. Oh, this is the Bellum Church? Are you? This where the giant turtle? Oh, and I'd already been there. I must have talked to that merchant. Oh, okay. So yeah, I could have just got down that way. Okay. I thought there was a turtle here. There isn't. Anyway, I'll end the stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and let me know in the comments below if you watch this what you think. And we'll see you on the next one.